Welcome back to the Japan Show. I'm your host, Mick, with our other host here, Isaac.
Konnichiwa, minasan.
Konnichiwa. And today, what are we talking about, Isaac?
We are talking about onsens, culture shock, and music. What we like to study too.
Sounds good. We previously have had a little chat about this. Isaac and I have different music tastes when it comes to study, as do a lot of people. So hopefully we have something amongst our recommendations for you.
We also want to apologize before we get into this. We did already record this once, but we were very tired after a long day and it didn't go to plan. So we decided to delay it so we could put out something more professional.
Delay the release so we're happy with the product.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. But anyway, in saying that, we were tired because we've been doing a lot. So what have we been up to, Isaac?
So I drove down to Brisbane to see Mick, which is like a 16-hour drive.
Yeah.
It's a long time in the car. We did in one night, stopped in Rocky. For those of you who are not Australia, town sort of Brisbane. Rocky's about in the middle. So I stopped there for a 3-hour sleep in the morning, left at 5, got in at 12 the next day. Had a little snooze in Rocky, and then, yeah.
That's a solid effort. We just made it back. Now I've come up to Townsville. And so we just did the drive together. But just imagining trying to do that drive by myself, I'm not down.
Yeah, look, I've done it a few times. It's good though, like, as we were discussing in the card day, if you fly, it's like $170 including luggage. You travel, I paid $200 in fuel return, and that's $170 one way, right? So, like, I can take as much luggage as I want. I brought an extra person back.
Yeah, that's worth.
Yeah.
And it was actually pretty fun. Like, the drive is pretty chill. The traffic today was nice.
Yeah, listen to a lot of Japanese. We listened to some audiobooks.
Yeah.
Some music.
Maybe next or in a episode, if people want to know different study methods, we were listening to audiobooks. It was pretty good. I did a bit of reading. We listened to awesome music. It was cool.
Did some RTK.
Did some RTK. Did some more study stuff. But what did we get up to in Brisbane?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So you had some interviews.
I did. So job searching, interview stuff. Hopefully it all works out. We'll see in the coming days.
And we'll release what he's doing on the next podcast so that we keep you anticipated for the next one a little bit too.
Yeah, hopefully everything works out. That's what we'll let on for now.
So we did a lot while we were in Brisbane. Eh? We went to the Japanese Mazuri once. Yep. A little bit disappointed we didn't get to go a second time. They had shut on the Sunday, which is when we'd planned to go.
So rough.
And a big shout out to Kazu and Mina, the owners. They look after us every time, and we really appreciate them looking after us, and their food's so delicious. And anyone that's in the Brisbane region, look up Mazuri and go there.
Yeah, so anyone in the Brisbane region, they just changed their hours today, so they're no longer open on weekends. So anyone in Brisbane, search Mazuri. They're open Monday to Friday. So if you have a day there that you can go for lunch or dinner, that's the place.
Highly worth
it. That's our food recommendations, baby.
Yeah, we mentioned them before, so you got to know they're pretty good by now.
Yeah, if we keep talking about them this much, they got to be good.
We went to Danbo, a ramen store.
Yeah. Did you like Danbo?
I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to have more of a chance to explore some different broths there.
Yeah.
I had the classic broth twice.
Yeah.
With tamanegi and
with the
tamago.
Yeah, tamago, so the eggs.
Yeah.
The boiled egg, they're kind of like
extra
have a bit of flavor.
Pork.
Yeah.
And then, get some seaweed in there.
Yeah.
Extra noodles, some gyoza.
For those of you who have, not to link our last podcast or anything, we talked about ramen a little bit last time.
Yeah, and we will cover it later on in the future. This is just like an intro.
Yeah. But no, it was fantastic. So we had some good times in Brisbane. I tried my first time trying golf. That was I felt
experience.
I felt very out of place. But you feel out of place anytime it's your first time doing something. So I gave it a go. I really respect people that are good at the sport. It is difficult.
Yeah, it is very difficult to be good at. I met some Japanese friends there. And Mick had already known them, so he introduced me to them and he organized all the golf and that. And so it was good to go out and see the dedication that they put in to become that level, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
they play every day, and like I would love to play every day and get that good, but life matters are at hand. So
we have a podcast to record, so
and girlfriends and add all the other stuff in.
Obviously, the podcast takes the front seat.
I can't say anything because I know she listens.
No comment. Okay, fair enough. No, but yeah. So we've been doing some stuff. Now I'm up here. I'm gonna be heading back, I guess, in a week. But just chilling in Townsville. We got some Japanese snacks from the supermarket up here. So we'll shout out to our YouTube channel, Aussie Shoguns, because we're gonna be looking at putting up some vids or trying some foods out there. So if you're interested in Japanese snacks, check out the YouTube channel. But anyway, let's
A
get
little bit of
into
extra content.
yeah, a little bit extra content.
We also, something I think we should give a shout out to is we went to jiu-jitsu tonight.
Oh yeah,
I never had done it before. Very interesting experience and thoroughly enjoyed it.
yeah. I'm glad you liked it.
Mm.
I had like I've mentioned to you before, but I had a couple times. I've tried it just a couple times. I have never like dedicated myself to it, but I have thought about it because it's pretty fun.
Getting to throw each other around on the mats.
Yeah, and like the good thing is you're not too worried about like it's not direct contact or throwing punches or kicks, so you're not too worried about injuries. Like you can there's still injuries that happen.
I don't know. You threw me on the mat once, and I felt my head like hit back on the floor, and I was like, "Whoa, that hurt."
Too strong. I'm huge. I'm sorry.
You're more flexible. You got more power in the movements.
Yeah, than I probably thought actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's alright though.
But no, that was pretty fun tonight. But to get into our topics, so we'll start with onsens, and I personally really like onsens, and I know Isaac does too.
Oh yeah.
And so, if you could give us a little rundown, Isaac, what are onsens? Just for those viewers who don't know, okay, I'll say just straight up, like an onsen is like a public bath, and so
You stole my line.
yeah, sorry, I did. I was like, I offered it to you, and I stole it. Pretty much, it's a public bath, and I know that in New Zealand they have it, but you have like swimmers on.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, but you have swimmers on. Like I went with my family when we were there, and that's totally different. So Japan is different in how they do onsens. Onsens, give us the go, Isaac.
So an onsen is pretty much, as Mick said, a public bathhouse. You rock up, you pay your money, you undress. Bit awkward the first time you go, but you get over that. You go into what's it called? The senmen
Oh, I don't even.
basin. I learned all this stuff in my Japanese classes at uni, and I completely forgot.
I've gone so many times, and I didn't learn this vocab.
Anyway,
like the
so
shower
you go
area,
down, yeah,
right?
the shower area.
Yeah.
So you sit down, you have a little shower. You scrub yourself clean. The ideology behind that is you don't want to be leaving the water in the bath dirty for other people. You want to be as clean as possible when you get in there so that other people can enjoy it as well. You scrub up, you wash your hair, you wash your body. If you go with, generally in Japanese culture, if you go with your seniors, you scrub your seniors back, make sure they're all clean. I don't know, do they return that?
So like I don't know because I haven't gone. I think it's like if you have like a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to go with someone, but like I personally haven't. Maybe it's just because I'm a foreigner. I
You
don't
didn't
know.
scrub my back when we were there.
Well, I mean, you didn't ask.
I didn't even think about it.
I think we were both under the impression we'll get our own bags. But yeah, no, you shower, you get in, and then at the end, you get up to.
Yeah, so you go in. So once you've showered and that, you go into the bath. Some places only have one bath. Some have multiple. I've been to one with one bath. I've been to one with about 8 different baths and a sauna. They separate male and female. Most places separate male and female. There's no mixing. In some places in the countryside, I know that they have male and female ones. I don't know how comfortable I would be doing that personally.
It's like, yeah, I haven't even personally seen of one, but like I've heard that in the mountains or like the very natural like onsens, they're just open to anyone, and so usually it's only you there. But technically, like if there's more people there, then it's just a mixed bath.
Yeah, but they're very rare to see, I would say.
Yeah,
I think that's safe to say.
Yeah, I feel that's safe. And then so yeah, they have like so many different baths, and then they have the outdoor bath is my personal favorite, and that is called rotemburo.
Rotemburo.
So that's the buro comes from the word in Japanese. Furo is bath, and I think we looked it up last time when we were trying to record. We were so tired. Rotemburos, the ro. Oh, I forget the meaning of the kanji. I know how to read the kanji, guys. You feel me? 10 I know is like the heavens, which kind of makes sense because it's like the outdoor bath, or it's usually. I've gone to some places where it's outside upstairs, or you go out the outside stairs up to it. But Rotemburo is definitely my favorite with the outdoor air. And like, I think I have a couple different memories from it. I've gone to an onsen near Mount Fuji where the outdoors at the Rotemburo, you got to look at Mount Fuji like while you were bathing.
That's awesome.
It was super cool. And then like another one was when I was with some boys.
I literally just learned this kanji.
Oh, did you?
The English meaning is dew. Like you get dew on the grass.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
kanji. I literally just learned it in RTK.
Oh, okay.
The reading is tsuyu.
Tsuyu. Okay.
By
and
itself.
That turns into roten.
Rotemburo.
Or yeah, ro for roten.
There's actually 4 kanji too. The furo / buro is 2 kanji.
Yeah. So word of the day, Rotemburo, for all you guys who want to go to onsens and you want to find the coolest outdoor baths. That's what you're looking for.
I just did a quick search because we were looking for that kanji while Mick was speaking.
Yeah.
Rotemburo looks, if you just put it in like Google and look at some of the photos, there is some scenic places.
Yeah. Like,
I'm getting a wee bit jealous, to be honest.
that's what I was just saying. So the Mount Fuji one was definitely like a jaw-dropping place to go for my first time. And then I really enjoyed Hokkaido with some mates. We went at the airport there and it was so cold that our hair was turning into icicles. It was wintertime there. And so our hair would freeze while we get out of the bath and then we'd like dip back in the bath to like get the icicles off our head.
I'd laugh if your head just froze and fell off.
That's so mean, bro.
Yeah, but it'd be funny. You gotta admit, you like touch your hair and it just snaps.
And just snaps and breaks off. I'm like, oh, my hair. Cheap way to get a haircut.
Yeah, I didn't even think.
I mean, if you're gonna think about it that way, but no, definitely onsens. So yeah, Isaac explained it perfectly for us the way through, and then at the very end, besides the Rotemburo and being able to see outside, I think my next favorite part would be the milk at the end.
Oh, the nice. It's cold, yeah.
You know what I mean? They have like, it's just some nice, for all those people who are lactose intolerant, including my sister. Not sure if she's listening, but I feel bad for you homies. They have juices. They have other stuff there as well. But I feel like milk just has that thing after you've been soaking in the hot water. It feels like revitalizing.
Yeah, I mean, I would never have thought this if I wasn't with you when we went. Because I struggled enough trying to use that vending machine in there because I didn't realize you can use your wrist scanner.
Yeah, yeah.
It goes on, like at the one we went to anyway, it goes onto your tab and you pay it at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you can just put yen in there. And I was struggling because I was doing both and it wasn't picking up either. So without you, I wouldn't have been able to work it out. But yeah, it's an experience.
It was fantastic. My personal favorite. They usually have like a lot of places will have strawberry milk, banana milk, normal milk, coffee milk. My favorite is definitely coffee milk.
So let's chat about your first time. Your first time going to an onsen, your surrounds, who you're with, how'd it feel?
Oh, okay, yeah. And then we'll get into yours. But my first time was, like I just mentioned, with the Mount Fuji. I was a little bit blessed. I went with some share house friends. And it was like, as a foreigner, as someone who I grew up in Canada and Australia, both countries who do not have public baths.
It's a Western ideology. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah, like I'm definitely. I was told by my parents never get naked in front of just like randoms, you know.
Feels good though.
But it's a different culture, and so yeah, then just accepting that, and then knowing that like everyone there is just there to get bathed, have a relaxing time, and just be at peace and just relax their body. So my first time going, I had all these kind of thoughts of it being like awkward, and I was like kind of, you know, fretting getting naked in front of my friends and people.
I'm not gonna lie though, like it's nerve wracking doing that.
Yeah.
And like when the first time you do it, yeah, you're a little bit nervous, but at the end of the day, you're there to enjoy the bath. Like that's what I found. Taking your clothes off was the nerve wracking part. Once you're in the shower, who cares?
And then you see that everyone else doesn't care, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, time to relax.
Yeah.
Except you're foreigner and everyone's looking at you.
Yeah, which takes me to where that first story is. So I was at the shower, like I was told to shower off before I'm getting in the bath. I'm like, okay, you know, I want to make sure and do everything by the rules, do everything like I'm supposed to. So I get in the shower and I'm showering and I'm washing my hair and I'm just like the shampoo keeps on coming. And I know these guys because I've been in the share house with them. And yeah, the like shampoo trick. I think it went around on Facebook.
Yeah, I definitely saw it at a few different beaches where the dudes are going around like pouring shampoo in the girls' hairs.
I feel like maybe that was an Australian thing. Like it was.
No, I think it was an American.
Oh really? I felt like it happened like later at a Sydney beach or something, or maybe it was like Miami.
Yeah, I think it definitely went around.
Yeah.
But I know it was an American thing.
Anyway, these Japanese guys thought they were hilarious because they started doing it to me as my first time in an onsen. And so I flicked my hair back so I could see like why this shampoo just kept on coming. And I look up to like, I think it was like 3 or 4 of, there's a couple of my Japanese friends there and other people from the share house, like our guys that we were getting in the onsen with. And everyone's just staring at my junk and they're like, oh, hey, nice man. We see what you're packing. I was just like, you couldn't be more embarrassed as a foreigner.
What is it like? Dick.
Yeah. Dicka? Like, I don't know. I can't speak for myself, but I'm just saying as a foreigner who was like, I already was embarrassed. Yeah, a little bit nervous, already embarrassed. And then these guys just staring at me. I'm like, okay, well, it can't get worse from here. So it definitely helped me like for the next time I went to the onsens. But my initial experience after that incident, I mean, like I just said, I got to look out at Mount Fuji while bathing. So that was super nice.
Yeah, it's an awesome experience. And I know you've been to a lot of onsens, so we might have to cover this another time as well. I've only been to 2. I've only been to Japan twice, and they're only for short stints, whereas you've lived there for 2 years. You've had a lot of time to experience the culture. So we might come back to some of your experiences at another time.
Yeah.
And like where we want to go and visit onsens and what we think's looking good.
Yeah. But I mean, in saying that, let us know what's your fave. You've gone twice.
Faves, I've gone twice. I had 2 different experiences. The first time was by myself. We're up in Hakuba with my fiance, and we went there and just chilled out. By chance, we stumbled across one on the second day we were in Hakuba, because we had both never snowboarded before, so it was a little bit exhausting, different experience. So we snowboarded, and then we were just walking down the Konbini. Found this onsen on across it. I was like, I don't have a towel, but let's check if the Konbini has one. Of course they have a towel. They have everything in there.
Yeah.
So we go back, get in the I went back and got in the onsen. My fiance was like, nah, that's unusual. Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I was like, because it's culture, baby.
It's culture. I'm a cultured man.
You either accept it or get out of the country. But yeah, so then I went in there, had a good time, a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
I had a story time. We're going to save that for story time next time.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
We chatted about on the one we tried to record, but I feel like that's a really funny story that will draw some listeners in.
Yeah. All right, so we'll leave Isaac's to story time. But then, okay, so your second time then, how about that one?
That was really good. I mean, I was sick when we went because I was with you that time.
Yeah.
Nervous going in because I'd never gone with anyone like as a friend. So Mick had brought another friend, and I didn't know him very well. I was sick. On top of that, I was nervous because I hadn't been with someone else before. Like when I go by myself, it's like, no one's ever gonna see me again.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Especially when you're in like a countryside, you're just there for a holiday, and you're like, whatever.
Yeah. And so that was actually no. I actually had 3 experiences. I actually went to the onsen downstairs from where I was staying in the Airbnb.
I was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember I showed us around the hotel and
Yeah.
it was like, oh, the onsen's here. It's open from this time.
Yeah.
That was really relaxing too when I was sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going. What was it? Spa World we were at?
Yeah, Spa World. So it's like, it's not technically an onsen because it's not like traditional water straight from like the earth, but they call it an onsen. It's called Spa World in Osaka.
And they rotate. They have different themes. They rotate, change the men's and ladies. They're like a whole level for men's, whole level for ladies. Change them up every couple months, or like every season, I think.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. We got to visit. I think it was a Greek theme one.
Yeah, it was a Greek theme, and I think our favorite thing about it, right, was the aromas.
Yeah, they had some pretty nice herbs and flowers and like lavender and stuff in the baths. Sorry, my English horrible. But yeah, so we went and looked after that, and it was a good time in there. Got to bathe.
Yeah,
it was relaxing because I was sick, so it kind of just helped relax me. I mean, probably not the best thing when you've got a little bit of attempt to get in a hot bath.
Yeah.
But I couldn't have complained. Got in the sauna for a little bit with some old Japanese dudes, sweated it out.
I feel like I remember I was trying to like stay in the cold bath there for a hot minute when we were in Spa World as well. Because my friend was like he was like really about the cold bath, and it's like I think it's like 4 degrees usually the cold bath, which it's for those people who've never bathed in 4 degrees. I dare you.
And remember, you're naked.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, I definitely think Spa World was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. Then we got the milk afterwards. Went home, had some good feeds.
Yeah.
We're all good. I think we're going out to ramen that night, and I just crashed after. I was like, I got nothing left, dude. Let me sleep.
Yeah, yeah. I felt bad. That if you guys wait, what story was that? We got
I'm pretty sure they covered in episode
lost in Osaka. Yeah, episode 1 when Isaac was coming to visit. So if you guys have listened to that one, it's kind of like stringing it together. So yeah, Isaac was very sick at the time.
Keep in mind the audio for podcast 0 and 1 aren't that great, so we apologize for that too.
And yeah, apologies. Exactly.
Culture shock though. What did you find most unusual about the onsens? What was your like weird experience, or what did you find that really struck out to you that you wouldn't see in the West other than getting naked with a bunch of others?
Yeah, I think like the openness for chatting. Hey, like you mentioned, I guess I've had a bit more experiences, and going around with my host father has definitely been one of the most positive experiences in like a positive light for culture shock, where when I've gone to a new location or a new somewhere with him, and there's like a how do I say, like a local to that area, and they're in the onsens, like my host dad will be totally chill and like chat with them, and then
Yeah, I remember a cool experience story that we may say flair, but you chatted with a doctor in onsen when you're in Japan exchange, right?
oh yeah, a brain doctor.
Yeah.
He was like a brain surgeon, and he said just like the straight up the Japanese, like the technical medical term for like brain surgeon or brain doctor or something, and I was like, it just flew over my head because of course I haven't studied the word for brain surgeon, as you could imagine, as I don't know what it is in English either. But
Neurologist. I it's a study of brains, but I don't know if it's
because
neurology. I think is the study of it. I think neurologist is like the person that looks after the brain.
looks after the brain, but then there's probably a word for like a brain surgeon, right? That's like a more technical. I don't know, right?
Not my strong point.
In Japanese, I think that's what the word was, because he said afterwards, he's like, oh yeah, like I'm pretty much a brain doctor, and then he just like summed it with like the Japanese for like brain and doctor, and he just split it for me like that way, so it was easy to understand. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, no wonder I didn't understand that. I don't know medical stuff, but no, it was super cool. I think, yeah, just like you were saying, that kind of culture shock and kind of mixing it with our onsen experience that we're talking about, really positive experience with like talking to different kinds of people that you just wouldn't find out on the street, or you wouldn't normally just go over and talk to, but because you're like in the same bath and you're just like, hey, what's up, like kind of thing. Like some people don't want to talk.
I mean, I haven't come across this. I've only been twice or 3 times, and my Japanese isn't at the level of yours yet. But I haven't had come across anyone that wants to talk other than when we went. I mean, I guess I'm not as bubbly as you are either, but I would love that experience just to go there and like have some fat chats with some dudes and all.
Yeah,
bathhouse.
I think that the main thing that like encouraged me, like, was like what I was just saying, was seeing my host dad like talk to people in baths. Like like you say, I'm kind of a talkative person anyway, but then on top of that, seeing my host dad talk to people in baths, I was like, oh, okay, it's fine for me too as well. And then like specifically because you're a foreigner, if you go to like a countryside place, you stand out. So like if you can speak Japanese, like usually the other person
give you the click of approval, the tick of approval.
Yeah, and they'll put in some effort and like chat with you about life and stuff. So that was some really like cool, positive kind of culture shock moments where experiencing onsens. And yeah, any like culture shock moments for you since you've been going?
Not really culture shock as per se. I mean, there's some things that have stood out. Like when you travel to Japan, you should really look up things that are considered inconsiderate or rude. I mean, they play the gaijin card a lot, right? Where you do these things and they just don't care because you're foreigner. They may annoy them. They won't say anything though, which I think is completely unacceptable, and things should still be said. But maybe it's just that language barrier. But things like talking on the train, you're not meant to talk on the train, or if you do, it's got to be very soft if there's people around.
Yeah.
Bowing, they bow a lot, and the certain length of bow, time, and also the steepness of the bow. is to do with like the senior
The I know what you mean. You're the like
seniority. Is that the word I'm looking for?
I think so, but like you're thinking about like the ranking or like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hierarchy in
Yeah,
the
hierarchy is
society.
probably the better word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think definitely it's acceptable to play the Gaijin card if you're like new or if you're just learning, just starting. But then people who have been there for like multiple years and it's like moving on and they understand what they're doing is like against the culture norm and they haven't put in the effort to just like learn those things. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Just take 5 minutes. That's all it takes.
You're coming to another, like if people come to Australia or like people go anywhere, right? I feel I enjoy as someone who grew up in Canada and then moved to Australia. I think it was hard for me to swallow like what is like all of the Australian culture. There's a lot of really great things and there's some rough things to get used to. But I think it's all the more that like when you're moving into somewhere, like you should learn to accept it because you're the one going there, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because I come across a lot of people in my job. Some of them, embrace the culture, and some of them just couldn't care less. And you're like, well, you moved here. I'm trying to be friendly to you. Talk my language because I don't know your language. It's obviously from somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for a lot. Just say a quick hello. How you going? If you don't want to talk, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can tell by how you answer those questions. But like, just take that 2 seconds to be friendly to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can tell a lot by a person by how they introduce themselves or talk to you.
Isaac's been doing some deep study in psychology, doing some Uber driving.
Yeah. You come across some
Deep dive.
insane people.
Yeah.
Trying to get a Ronin sticker on my car. I'm thinking about how I can do it.
That's fair enough. But yeah, how do you feel about like population wise? Because you've been to Tokyo, you've been to Osaka, and those are like very highly dense.
Yeah. So like it's interesting, right? I'm not a people person in general. Other than Uber, which is like my job, so I talk to people. I'm all about the customer service. You want to make them feel comfortable and all that. It's like in any job I've had, hospitality and everything.
Yeah.
The people around Japan are interesting in that. Actually, this is a really interesting story about the culture thing, right? When we were there, we went in an elevator. And I don't know if you remember this. I think we were going to Pokemon in Tokyo. And we were trying to get in this elevator. And the Japanese lady in the elevator was like slamming the buttons to shut the elevator. Do you remember this?
I don't remember this.
So like she didn't want us in there. I don't know if it's because she was afraid of us or just didn't want to have to be near us or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was. I wish you remember because it'd make this so much easier. But yeah.
Yeah, now you have to explain it to me and the people. So we were just, okay, if I get this right, so wait, we were in Osaka then.
Yeah.
And then we were going to the Pokemon Center and just in the elevator.
Yeah, it was like at
there.
Osaka Station.
Yeah.
Or Osaka.
Yeah.
So we went to get in the elevator and she's there just like pressing the button to close the doors. Although she can see us trying to get in the elevator with her. And it was only her in the elevator. It's a big elevator. It's not like we're...
And there was no COVID at the time.
No, yeah.
For everyone's
This
sake.
is like back
this is
year and a half ago, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2019, earlier 2019. Yeah. I remember going to the Pokemon Center. I remember going to the Uniqlo next to the Pokemon Center. I don't remember the elevator incident. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, we couldn't have spoken in Japanese or English because I'm pretty sure she looked at, like, I remember her looking at us and just being like, as soon as that door opened for her level, she was out there, like, gone.
Just gone skis. I probably gave you the look though.
Yeah, I got the look, and that's why I remember it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. That's the thing. Hey, so my experience in like population density wise as well has been like when I was in Tokyo, like I would get bumped shoulders, or like people would drop their shoulders into my stomach and stuff sometimes. Like just people who just, of course the majority of people are fine.
Yeah.
I have nothing but like love for Japan and for like the people there. But every now and again, right? In any population of people, you're gonna get
There's just some like bogans. I want to call them bogans because that's a very
that's
an
Aussie term
general term. Yeah.
Yeah. I've looked at some of the stats.
I was gonna say Yankee, but that's a little bit wrong. I don't want to put that in there.
we have some American listeners and that. So a bogan here in Australia is like a redneck.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Redneck bogan. So just think about those. And yeah, so like those kind of people exist everywhere. It's fine. People are people. You have your own thing. Maybe they were just busy. Maybe they didn't mean to shoulder me. But I do find like in more populated areas that you like run into more people who are it's almost like they're doing these incidents on purpose. Like I want to give them the benefit of the doubt that they didn't mean to, but like sometimes when it happens, I'm like, oh, that guy he put his shoulder into me. That one kind of hurt.
You can tell the difference between a bump and a drop shoulder though.
Yeah.
The drop shoulder hurts. The bump, you brush it off. Like even if it's not my fault and someone runs into me, I always apologize.
Yeah,
It's
for
the
sure.
polite thing to do. Everyone in Japan usually does it.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't really had a problem in population dense areas. Like I don't like population density, but in Japan I seem to get along fine.
Yeah, I think
just a little bit like shy. So like, if you're waiting in a line, you don't want to push in, or you don't want to seem rude.
yeah.
So I try and hang back, let everyone else go first, and I'll just jump in and be like, "Hey, give me this, give me that.
Yeah.
Let me eat."
No, that's fair enough. What is it about? I think between Australia and Japan then, right? Japan has like such population density, but then people are kind of like more aware of their surroundings because they understand how many people are going to be around.
Oh, for sure. You notice it in big cities as well, but I think Australians just don't care. Like
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of Australians. I'll walk by and I'm the one to move because I know if I don't move, their butt's going to be on the floor because I'm a big dude.
Yeah.
I accidentally touch them and they're probably going to fall over.
You are a big dude.
But yeah, like in Tokyo, like the hardest I reckon experience I had in Tokyo in population density area
Yeah.
was when me and my fiance were catching the train. We were going to meet some of my Japanese friends that were there for dinner, and for some reason we got on peak hour. Dumbest move to do. We're all squished in the train.
Like,
I knew my exit was on the opposite side coming up, and I felt really sorry for the girl in front of me because they got so squished in that she was literally up against me.
yeah.
And that's never a good thing. There's a lot to do with I don't know how to put it.
There's train problems when you have that many
Yeah.
people that you're getting squished in there, especially for high school girls or anything like that. Like everyone needs their own space to travel safely,
Yes.
and sometimes the trains don't have they don't have enough capacity. So yeah.
I mean, they've got female only carts for a reason.
Yeah.
But if you can't get in one of them, you don't really have a choice. I felt bad for this girl because she was pushed right up against me, and for a couple of like stations too.
Yeah.
But at the end there's not much I could do except try and lean against the back door and hope we didn't pull up to a platform where that door opened.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, it's been a while since I got packed on a train, but remembering I think my school as well when I was at university there, I think that's just a thing. Hey, like packed trains, especially Australians, majority of Australians use their own cars. People who live in cities, I mean, a decent amount of people use trains, buses, but it's never like as packed as the videos. You do one quick search on YouTube,
and everything they show on YouTube is true. Like I haven't had anyone push like people into the train like as a conductor. Or the people that work at the station.
I've seen it.
I haven't. Thank God I haven't. But I have been squished in a train.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so there we go. There's a culture shock, I guess, for that we both experienced, like just from pure density of people. Not that anyone was like going out of their way and it was an annoying culture shock or anything like that. It was
just accidental at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But like it's weird, like to take you back to the onsens. Like I've seen little kids in the onsen when we went, and I felt slightly uncomfortable because that's in Western culture. It's a big no. You don't look at kids with that clothes on. You know what I mean? Like over there, it's just naturally accepted. No one really cares.
Yeah, it's like it's at an onsen, so it's whatever in those people's mind. And then the incidences with like trains and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, we love Japan. There's so many good aspects, but it does have its downfalls in some areas.
Yeah. I think that's why like I'm so down for countryside trains and stuff like that. Oh, because there's barely any people, and then you get to like be on this chill little caboose train and stuff.
I remember riding the train from Hakuba.
Oh yeah.
Down to Matsumoto, from Matsumoto all the way to Nagoya.
Yeah.
And then the Shinkansen from Nagoya to Osaka. Oh.
Some chill journey, just vibing.
Yeah. Just chill, sit in the train, relax, put the feet up.
That's good.
Like it was so good. Went through the mountainside. Like we went through the countryside. Got so many good views. I remember being on my GoPro. There's like I set the GoPro up for, or maybe it was my phone at the time, for like 10 minutes just on the side in like time lapse.
Yeah.
I let it record the whole 10 minutes, and like the amount we covered was so cool.
That's so cool.
Like with the snow on the mountains, and then you got the rice fields you're going past, and
Yeah, I still want to do like more. I didn't do much snow trains when I went to Hokkaido. We're going all over the place, but you know,
Yeah.
I feel like that's just one of those things. Hey, I want to go on more like scenic trains on some places. You know,
Inaka is the country, right?
yeah, Inaka's countryside.
I would love to visit more of that. Like
Yeah,
just get out in like the natural Japanese. Like I know obviously it's all natural Japanese, but places where English is barely used so that one I can test my Japanese, just have some chill conversations with people that
and just
you
vibe.
wouldn't generally come across.
Yeah, just vibe with locals,
Mm.
like people that are. I feel like, oh yeah, yeah, pretty much. Hey, I don't know what I was thinking just then.
Yeah, and like I feel like when I go with other people who know Japanese, I'm less likely to talk. Like when we were in Japan,
Yeah,
I hold back. Like even when we talk,
yeah.
like not that we talk in Japanese often, but I hold back because I know yours is so much better than mine. And I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah, like I feel like for people who study Japanese, which we're about to get onto our music study recommendations. So if you guys want to have these great experiences, go to Japan, do these things. People who are studying Japanese will have the music for you in a second.
Mind you, you don't need to study Japanese to go to Japan either.
No,
Just throw
you,
that
you
out there.
don't. You don't. That's very true. I feel like if you just learn like a couple phrases, a couple words,
Oh, you can get by easy.
yeah, and like you get so much more. Like they see that you're putting in the effort.
Yeah,
So
just a few like basic words. Konnichiwa, arigato.
yeah, like yeah, pretty much. Konnichiwa, arigato.
That's really all you need.
Or if you hit like for the English speakers, I think that's majority
You
of our
hit them with
audience.
the gochiso sama deshita.
Yeah, go sell some stuff after eating, or like just being able to say like, oh, I only speak English, like a
Mm.
line like that, along with like your greetings, and I think you're set. Especially in cities, you'll be
Mm.
fine.
As
So
soon as you get in the countryside, you're in
yeah,
trouble.
so
But
Isaac
yeah,
and I are talking about the countryside, and yeah, it would be fantastic. I know what you mean because like when you have friends and when you have people, because I have people that I feel are like above my level, and not to say that like my level is that
your
high.
level
I
is
got
not low by any stance.
thank you for those kind words. Um, I just feel like yeah, like I'm pretty comfortable in Japanese, but then um I know what you mean though, because like when you have a friend or someone that's like like you look up to, and then you're like, oh, like I know I could try and speak Japanese at this point, but like maybe not, you know, or you like stay
It's
silent, or you.
it's not even that right. We went to dinner with Yuki and Coco after golf.
Oh yeah, yeah, the boys golfing
The
in
boys we
Brisbane.
play golf with, yeah, right. And you guys were all talking in Japanese. I
Yeah,
can understand. I want to say 90% of the conversation. Like, there's some things I still don't get. I still don't know a lot of vocab on different topics. So when
yeah,
it diverts from my interests or what I haven't studied yet, get a little bit lost. But like, I know that my listening is good enough to understand a lot of things.
yeah, yeah,
But then I feel like my output is so trash that I don't want to attempt it because I feel like it's a hassle for them to try and speak Japanese with me if my output isn't up to a standard that I think is good. You know what I mean? Or not even good, just enough to get by
yeah,
and make them feel comfortable.
yeah. I know what you mean. That's like definitely. It's like when you want to just make sure and let the conversation flow, or like you feel
Yeah.
bad if it's gonna like yeah.
Drag them down or, not make the time fun.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's why hopefully you'll be able to, when the world opens back up, go to the Inaka, go to the countryside, chat with some homies, meet some new friends who don't care about speaking English.
Go to the izakaya,
Go to the izakaya, yeah, eat some great food.
the onsens.
Izakaya, for those people, we're throwing a lot of words out here. So izakaya is also like a drinking like bar where you eat
Yeah.
lots of good
Think
food.
of the Australian pub.
Australian pub. I think the American is pub, right? Or British.
I don't care about America or Britain.
Well, come on, we got some American listeners here.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the people, but like in terms of
Going there,
yeah, I
You're-
I would like to visit there for certain like maybe snowboarding or something, but I don't really have an interest in the country itself.
yeah. Well, that's why we're doing the Japan show. Hey,
I know.
cheeky plug again. Anyway, so music that we study to. So if you couldn't tell, Isaac and I do a lot of Japanese study. J- Isaac, when we were driving the car today, we were driving for like 8 hours.
Yeah, we did about 8.5 hours drive today.
Yeah, and I did some my Japanese reading my book, listening to my audiobook. Isaac did some kanji study. We made sure to
Yeah.
make the most of our time.
Yeah. I like we took shifts. I did the 2 split shifts over the 2 days. Mick did the long middle shift.
Yeah,
I feel like your shift was shorter than my 2 shifts, but that's fine. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
I was kind of over studying by the end of it. I think I covered like 80 words, like 80 kanji or something.
Yeah, man. You were grinding through those like study cards.
I really want to get them done is the thing. Like I've been working at them for like since you went to Japan, is when I probably started
Yeah.
in 2019. So started 2019. It's been 2 years. I mean, off and on. I had obviously a bit of a break this year. I was meant to be in Japan. It hit me pretty hard when I couldn't go, so I took some time off study to just focus on getting myself back to where I needed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like study comes in those waves, right?
Yeah. And so now we're back. We're back on our high horse. We're back on our wave. We were studying today.
Hiya!
Yeah. I've never ridden a horse, but hey.
Me neither.
Yeah. And so we have music recommendations. I mean, like for my vibes, like I have lo-fi kind of stuff that I listen to, so I'll throw out those recommendations in a second. But Isaac, what do you listen to when you study?
I don't really listen to like anything does me right. Your study is a bit more is Anki based, not memorization, but SRS.
Yeah,
Sentence repetition.
kind of like longer because it's a full sentence kind of
Yeah.
Japanese.
So you're
study.
learning the word in the sentence and getting context behind it.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm studying flashcards at the moment to get all the kanji down that I know,
Yeah.
and then I'll move into SRS. So at this point, I'll put anything on. I'll listen to a podcast. I'll put music on. I'll watch anime in the background. As long as there's something Japanese going,
Yeah.
then I'm all good. Like, I sit in a car and I drive for close to 8 to 10 hours a day, every day, for my job. So in that time, I've got constantly Japanese music playing the whole time. It doesn't stop. And then, I get to my study. Same thing. It doesn't really matter. Like when I moved to SRS, I might change it slightly. So it's a little bit like a bit of a rock music or J-pop's pretty cool too. But for study, kind of something a little bit laid back, but not as soft as you like it.
Okay. So something that's like not quite like a Japanese rock, but like
but it's not popping off either on the beats.
not like a low beats. Okay, yeah.
Something in the middle. Something's got a good rhythm.
That's fair enough. I agree. I think when we were talking about this, or like you just perfectly described it. Like for me, I do Anki, SRS. For people who don't know, sentence mining, that kind of stuff. We should do like a full like study podcast sometime.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do one while you're here.
Yeah,
just so we can get like what we're probably gonna do is we're gonna probably record a couple of specialized podcasts, a couple that are maybe YouTube 30 only? To 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 30 to 40 minutes long that are specialized, super focused. But we might look at YouTube only. That way we're not screwing up the rhythm of.
Yeah. We'll do sorry, I didn't know where you were going with that.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at doing like some podcasts like that, and then some YouTube only for like visual, kind of like if we're eating Japanese snacks, and if we're doing something, it'll just be like a shorter video maybe.
Yeah, so we're looking at some specialized podcasts. We want to do an anime
spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. We're gonna look at some study methods, what we use, where we started, where we are now.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of different things we think are cool ideas that we want to share with you guys because we think they're important.
Yeah, and like hopefully, if you guys like our study methods or want to know more, like we'll hopefully be able to point you in the right direction or what to search for. But for me, so yeah, I study to dull it down, take like a full sentence from a book, from an anime, from whatever, just something that I'm immersing in, something that I'm watching, reading, and I put that on a flashcards app called Anki, and I learn usually through a Japanese description, so it's like very heavily
monolingual.
Yeah, monolingual. It's very heavily based in like I have to read so much to get through cards, and usually I try and make them as like put as much information as possible. That's what I was trying to say. And also like try and make it so I can do the cards as quick as I can, but some of them I have made like a bit too long, like 2-3 sentences. So that's why I find lyrics for me. So like Isaac can study with lyrics or with anything, even if it's Japanese in the background. But for me, if I have lyrics going, then I find myself just like tuning into the music too much and like not reading enough of my cards. So I listen to a lot of lo-fi. So I'll do a couple shout outs here. My first shout out is going to be for those people listening on Spotify, people who listen on or listen with Spotify, Cat Trumpet. And
Cat trumpet.
Yeah,
CAT TRUMPT.
yeah, like split the words cat and then trumpet. And the artist there makes like all the tracks. There's no lyrics. It's just like piano based. They have harp stuff. And so they have My Neighbor Totoro in like harp collection, which is pretty chill.
So they've got some good beats there.
Yeah, they have Your Lie in April piano collection. Anyone who's seen that anime, like these, all their collections are from anime, from like movies or.
So they're
series.
just making them instrumental.
Yeah, just like revamping it, making a certain version like
A
classical.
little bit different, like a piano or a harp.
Yeah, so I find like that's pretty relaxing if I just need to like chill. As well as if I want something slightly more upbeat without lyrics, I've been listening to Stream Beats lo-fi music recently. So that's another one that you can find on Spotify. I think it's on YouTube as well. I'm not sure, but yeah, I just like doing those kind of slower, chill beats. Too slow for you, hey?
Yeah, I mean, I had to ask you to turn them off today, today or yesterday in the car because they're starting to put me to sleep while I was driving. Not that I don't like them, I just feel like I'm someone that likes something that's a little bit upbeat, something I can tap my foot to. You know,
That's fair enough.
shake the booty if I need to.
So if you do you have like a recommendation for people to find a place for that?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, you know, you've got One OK Rock. They do
Oh yeah.
more English-based songs now, but they've got some good Japanese songs. First Stories, good rock band. Uver World, UVER
Yeah.
World.
Eve, right?
Eve's a really good rock band. They've got a lot of good songs out, actually.
If you want to be able to find like all these artists, for people who listen on Apple Music, I'll look what it's actually called here.
I know. Or the thing is, if you start searching for songs in Japanese on YouTube or Apple Music and that, then they start to form an algorithm to what you like. So once you get like, you know, maybe 50 songs played or whatever, they'll start sending you Japanese songs that of interest that you might like.
Yeah.
Whereas if you stick to English music, they'll keep sending out the English music over the Japanese music because you like of your where you are in the world.
Yeah. But for Apple Music listeners, there's a playlist called Today's Hits Japan Domestic. So that's like all purely they only do Japanese or Japanese artists. Because often enough, like Ed Sheeran or Justin Bieber, they'll be in the top charts in Japan as well. But if you want the domestic artists, there's that one. I'm sure they have one on like Spotify and on YouTube as well.
I'm sure there's one there. I haven't found one yet. I just stick to YouTube Premium or YouTube Music I use mainly.
Yeah.
It's just easier. All my stuff's there.
That's fair enough. But yeah, if you want to find like artists like Isaac was just mentioning, or I was mentioning as well, Eve and all them, try and just look for like a top charts. Like they'll often enough be up there. And if you want lo-fi music for your studies, well, I just let you know. So yeah, I think that's all for our music stuff. Hey.
Yeah. So we've got some stuff coming. We've got the Facebook page up and running, which we'll link down below in the YouTube thing. We are starting up a Discord soon. So if you just want to have some input on what we talk about on the show,
Yeah,
you can join us there. Yeah, I think that's all for the moment. We're starting an Instagram and a Twitter,
yeah.
I believe, but we're slowly working on things.
We're trying to get everything. I have so much respect for these people who've all set it up. I mean, of course, they've probably done it over time.
So much time.
Yeah, but like we're setting our stuff up. So if you want to support us over on YouTube, if that's the place you would prefer to listen, if you would prefer to listen on your app, then feel free and listen on the app. On YouTube, we have links to the apps, and maybe I can just link the YouTube from the apps. I don't know if I can.
You might be able to put it in the description or something.
I'll see if I can make it happen.
I have noticed though on Spotify if you search the Japan show,
Yep.
or the Aussie Shoguns, I believe from last time I searched, we're the only show to pop up.
Nice.
And same with YouTube, I believe. But because we have such little subscribers, they don't always pop up first on YouTube. They look at other tags and stuff.
Yeah. So just to let you guys know where we are, you'll always be able to find us under Aussie Shoguns or the Japan show. So if you can't find us on one, try the other. Hopefully, if you're more of an Instagram person, Twitter person, hopefully we can have something coming.
We're working towards
We're working on it. I think the most important, like those who want input, like Isaac said, definitely for Discord. It's coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening again to the podcast. And yeah, make sure to subscribe where you're listening and give us more feedback. What do you want to hear? Do you want to hear the story of Isaac in his first time in an onsen? We'll make it happen. I got this guy laughing. He can't sit on the mic. You got him. But anyhow, thank you again for listening, and sorry for delaying this podcast. But hopefully we'll have some more stuff coming out for you guys soon, and we're working on it.
Working hard.
Yeah.
Breaking our backs.
Put in the hours. But thanks for being with us again. And so how did we exit these again?
Johnny.
Johnny.